Two Idaho sheriff's deputies need treatment after someone rammed into the back of their patrol car. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. Instead, they recommend other forms of pain management, which could include alternative medicine or a non-opioid pain medicine like ibuprofen. Imagine going to sleep and waking up with a foreign accent. No, it's not a joke. It really happens. And one Arizona woman has had it happen to her 3 times. It's not just what the shooters are doing while they're here, it's what they're leaving behind. The shells of their former targets. Pumpkins, glass bottles, and here, the remnants of an old TV. The people are getting wise about their money being used for terrorism, and the U.S. is watching closely. Now, Pomerel is quick to point out all this new snow isn't just good for them, because this powder will melt, filling up these empty canals and bringing that water straight to the field. Well, we were just talking about sage grouse, but let's talk about a few different kind of birds, like maybe some falcons and some eagles.
Yes.
Ron Wallace finished off dinner his usual way, a cigarette in his front yard.
I've been here for 12 years, and it's always been a nice neighborhood.
His view was the same as today, his neighbor's house, now quiet. A change from the night before.
Notice the neighbor flung her door open and comes screaming out, "Help me, I've been stabbed. Dear God, help me, I've been stabbed."
Wallace said he took action, bringing her to his front porch to try and stop the bleeding, which he said covered her from her neck down her arm. She sat in this chair as she said,
"Just take me to the hospital. I'm going to bleed out. I'm going to die." And I said, "You're not going to die. We're going to call 911. They'll be here in a minute."
Police cars blocked the road as they investigated the home. They found 33-year-old Philip Wolf inside and took him into custody. But as the police worked, the ambulances were stuck up the road, so Ron took action again. Ron and another officer picked up the woman and carried her down the road where she could meet ambulances here to take her to the hospital.
I don't think I need any recognition, any of that.
He said the world
I'm just trying to help a neighbor.
Needs more of that. Neighbors looking out for neighbors.
I just hope she's fine. I just pray to God that she's doing fine. An
Idaho man is in the hospital with serious facial damage after he says he was assaulted while leaving a bar. Good evening, I'm Reid. Thanks for being with us tonight. The mother of the victim is speaking out tonight after someone did this to her son. Now, we want to warn you, the images you're about to see are graphic. 35-year-old Derek Yegas was leaving Hurricanes, often known as the Pepper Tree Bar, when he was attacked. He has facial fractures and his jaw had to be wired shut earlier today. His mom says he doesn't remember much about the attack and doesn't know who did it. His family is coming together and looking for answers about who did this. His mom posted on Facebook asking for information, and she has a message for whoever did this to her son. Now, the bar doesn't have security cameras. Officers are currently investigating and interviewing witnesses. Breaking news now, we're learning a man missing for 10 days in Idaho Falls was found dead just a little bit ago. The body of Jimmy Rodriguez was found behind the Gas and Grub on Lindsay Boulevard in Idaho Falls around 3 this afternoon. That's about a quarter mile from where he was last seen, near the grain and fertilizer silos, also on Lindsay Boulevard. Friends and family gathered this morning searching for Rodriguez, who went missing January 24th. At least 20 people showed up to try and find him, but this afternoon around 3 o'clock, a member of the search party found his body. Police detectives believe he had been dead for more than 24 hours after being found. They haven't identified signs of foul play at this time, but earlier today, his family said they think the disappearance was suspicious because Rodriguez rarely traveled far from his home. Now, after the body was found, his family posted on Facebook saying, in part, "I'd like to thank all of the people who came out today to help." Even despite all that, a new study shows that 2 Magic Valley cities were announced as some of the safest in Idaho. Ricardo Coronado has the details on what cities made the list. In national news, the president tweeted out reaction to the release of the GOP memo Saturday, calling himself vindicated. But House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says the document should not have been declassified, and its release could ultimately cause a constitutional crisis. CBS News' Laura Podesta has more on the fallout. President Trump is not participating in a Super Bowl Sunday interview this weekend. Sources at NBC confirmed their interview requests have been turned down. The network is televising the Super Bowl tomorrow. A pre-Super Bowl interview with the president has become an American tradition in the past decade. When Fox televised the Super Bowl last year, Trump sat down with Fox's Bill O'Reilly at the White House. But the sources say Trump still has an open invitation should he choose to change his mind. Also, Super Bowl Sunday is one of the largest sports betting days of the year. And it's a lot more than just picking a winner. Jeff Reid standing by live to explain what you can bet on. Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. Hope you win some money there. The National Chicken Council says Americans will eat a record number of wings this Super Bowl weekend. The Trade Association for Chicken Producers and Processors expects more than 1.3 billion wings will be consumed, and the prices are right. The Department of Agriculture says the national retail price for a fresh tray pack of whole wings is now $2.50 per pound, down from $2.83 per pound last week. Speaking of snacks, after 26 years, the Shoshone Snack Bar now has new owners. Crystal Jose takes a look back with the former owners and finds out what the new owners plan for the shop. Coming up, a season cut short. We'll tell you what's causing Soldier Mountain to close less than a week after it opened. Later, even though there's not much snow, there are some crowds at this ski resort. We'll show you what's bringing them in.
All right, what's happening?
When she's not in Boise,
In a minute.
you can find Sally Toon at the park.
All right, trip. I babysit every Thursday, have since I retired, and today's Thursday.
Her other job, besides grandma,
Okay, swing.
is state representative,
There you go.
one of 32 female legislators in Idaho.
And that is unprecedented in the state.
Another is Michelle Stennett, the Senate Minority Leader. They and the other women make up about 30% of the legislature as a whole, which places Idaho as 12th in the nation for female representation. Stennett and Toon both had similar reactions to the news.
Yay! That's a good thing.
They say they both want to see improvement. Diversity in representation can lead to diversity of thought.
I'd love to see it 50-50 because that's the whole essence of the citizen legislature. You have points of view and the best solutions are in the middle.
But 50-50 could be a ways off. The top state, Vermont, is at 40%.
Up the stairs.
Though they aren't there yet, they don't question the respect they get at the state house,
All right.
male or female.
Are you ready?
To them, getting a 50-50 split just means another voice in the conversation.
And it is important because my voice counts just as much as anybody else's.
Amy Reid,
You're in good shape. You're my butterfly.
KMVT Local 11 News. At Cars for You,
It should be okay.
their trailer
We're loaded to the T.
spills over with supplies for Houston.
It's going to be an interesting, quick trip.
They packed up on Thursday, ready to drive boxes of blankets, clothes, water,
That's the only bag of toys we're taking.
and toys,
It's just something that we found in our heart to do.
helping others who've lost it all.
We actually had 3 of our family members lost their homes, lost everything.
This is what we're about, you know what I mean? Family over everything, so whatever we can do to help out, we help out.
Even after their life
Things happen for a reason, and
gets turned upside down.
we're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Their business of 6 years will close.
Probably most people would change their mind of going because of the expense, now being without a job. But, where one door closes, another one opens, and we got to move ahead.
So the trip goes on,
They're on their way to Florida.
setting an example for his family.
I mean, I'm proud of him, I look up to him, and he likes to help people out a lot, and that's something that I'm trying to do myself, you know what I mean?
While passing on his gratitude for life.
And if I can help that person better themselves, that's a blessing.
Amy Reid, KMVT Local 11 News.